took Rapamycin, and here's what happened.
Hey Doc, I heard about this new anti-aging supplement called Rapamycin. It's been all over my TikTok, and I was wondering if you had any information about it.
This is Rapamycin. Rapamycin was first discovered on Easter Island, also known as Rapa Nui, by a Canadian team of researchers that sought to study the island's diverse and isolated flora, fauna, and people. Through their soil analyses, they discovered a defensive chemical derived from the bacterium Streptomyces hygroscopicus. Due to its immunosuppressant properties, the compound is now commonly used as a rejection prevention medication in organ transplantation procedures. However, because rapamycin inhibits the mTOR pathway, a signaling transduction cascade that promotes autophagy and upregulates organismal growth, scientists have theorized that rapamycin's capacity to inhibit this growth may also reduce its overall rate of aging.
There are many reasons why scientists currently think that humans age, and rapamycin acts upon several of these supposed mechanisms. One of the main theories right now is known as the neuroendocrine hypothesis of aging. This states that as we age, our hormones develop imbalances, activating pathways that are damaging to our cells while inhibiting pathways that are beneficial, such as increasing stress responses. One example of one of those imbalances is called antagonistic pleiotropy, in which a gene that is beneficial early in life comes back to bite you. For example, promoting growth is very important at a young age, but when you're older, continued promotion of growth takes away from the body's ability to sustain longevity. Rapamycin acts upon these pathways, pushing the balance more towards the good pathways, which promote stress resistance and longevity.
Yeah, that sounds promising. Has there been any research to confirm this?
One of the first studies to investigate rapamycin's anti-aging potential was a 2009 mouse model study, which aimed to investigate whether the administration of rapamycin in late adult mice could extend lifespan. The longevity studies were replicated across 3 different facilities and included dozens of mouse subjects. As shown by these graphs depicting the longevity trends of mice in all 3 studies, the administration of rapamycin appeared to increase average lifespan in these mice. In 2012, a similar team conducted a follow-up mouse model study to determine whether this increase in average lifespan was due to a systemic slowing of aging or simply an inhibition of lethal neoplastic diseases. In contrast to the 2009 study, which only provided rapamycin to older mice, they tested mice of 3 different age cohorts, 4, 9, and 20 months old, and provided varying doses of the chemical. Following euthanasia after 5 months of treatment, the team performed necroscopy analyses of various tissue samples. They found numerous significant reductions of aging-related processes: liver degeneration, reproductive organ complications, heart cell mutations, development of adrenal tumors, tendon degeneration, and age-dependent decline in spontaneous activity. The size and consistency of the 2009 study's results and the numerous positive biomarkers found in the 2012 study generated a significant buzz around rapamycin's anti-aging potential.
Interesting. How does the drug actually work though? What's causing all these anti-aging effects?
Great question. Scientists have looked into that very thing. It all centers around an important signaling pathway in our cells known as the TOR pathway. When activated, this pathway promotes growth, but when inhibited, it promotes a stress response. In 2012, a study by Robita Stubbs et al. Used tiny roundworms called C. elegans to understand how altering this pathway affects aging. The researchers genetically reduced the activity of the TOR pathway and shockingly saw that they were able to make the worms live a lot longer. But where does rapamycin come into play here? Well, rapamycin is also able to inhibit this pathway without any genetic modification. So when researchers recreated the procedure with worms treated with rapamycin, they saw the same longevity increase. On the cellular level, this longevity increase occurs because the inactivation of TOR activates various genes that help the organism handle stress, detoxify harmful molecules, and maintain healthier cells. In simpler terms, blocking TOR shifted the worms away from growth mode into a repair and protection mode, which is linked to longer life. As a result, the worms showed improved resistance to stress, an important marker of healthy aging.
Wow, that sounds great. But what about humans?
In 2019, a team led by Christina Lee Chong decided to test the effects of rapamycin on one of the most visible hallmarks of aging, wrinkles. The study participants were individuals over 40 years of age who had already developed wrinkles. Participants were given 2 creams, one with rapamycin and one without. They didn't know which was which, and they applied one of the creams to their left hand and one to the right. Differences between their left and right hands were tracked by scientists over 8 months. The hands treated with rapamycin developed less visible wrinkles than the hands that were not. Additionally, protein analyses showed that the skin cells treated with rapamycin showed lower levels of cellular senescence, an age-associated phenomenon in which cells stop dividing. This provides a potential mechanism for how rapamycin may be preventing wrinkles in participants. Unfortunately, there is reason to be suspicious of this study. Some of the main scientists who conducted the research are financially involved in an anti-aging supplement company, Bionica, so there could be a potential conflict of interest. Additionally, only 17 of the initial 36 participants completed the study, so the low retention rates may raise some eyebrows. With that being said, the results that were obtained are still promising regarding rapamycin's ability to improve aging in humans. Not all humans have had success with this drug, however.
Ever since my 17-year-old son stopped giving me his blood, I turned to a new treatment, rapamycin. Unfortunately, after 5 years on the drug, I concluded that any potential benefits are not worth the side effects, which included high levels of glucose, an elevated resting heart rate, and skin infections.
While rapamycin has shown promise in extending lifespan in model organism studies thus far, it is essential to note that lifespan does not equal health span, and rapamycin has been found to come with numerous detrimental side effects. Mouse model studies have cited complications of long-term immunosuppression, hyperlipidemia, diabetes, reduced fecundity, testicular degeneration, and an increase in cataract severity. Brian's experience highlighted that chronic supplementation of the compound can have similar effects in humans, citing soft skin and soft tissue infection, lipid abnormalities, glucose elevation, and elevated heart rate. There have also been studies pointing to potentially elevated cancer risk and even aging acceleration.
In summary, while rapamycin is one of the most promising anti-aging interventions in animal models, but currently human evidence is limited, inconsistent, and accompanied by significant risks. Therefore, at this stage, it should not be recommended as a general anti-aging treatment, especially outside of clinical supervision.
So, are you ready to take it?
Was it worth it? We still don't know. So maybe don't order it just yet.